Hi, everybody. So again, my name is Michael Wright. I'm the CEO, President of Inolife, and my colleague here is Martin Beland. He's our Chief Marketing Officer and also in charge of business development. We're a private company right now. We're just in the process of listing with the CSE. We should be trading in a couple of months. So I hope you'll be looking out for us. We've got a lot of exciting stuff to share with you today. And we'll also be updating everybody on our regular press releases and newsletters. So, what's so great about injection technology? What's so great about needle-free technology, and why are we in this business? Well, first and foremost, you have to understand there's over 16 billion injections worldwide currently. Now, we looked at the top 50 pharmas, and we saw a growth of 35% of their injectable drugs that have occurred in the last 5 years. And that trend is supposed to be continuing on in the next few years. So that's a pretty impressive growth, 43% in the last 5 years of growth. The needle-free device technology is over $7 billion in sales currently. So there's a great opportunity for us. So that's great for injectable, but why needle-free? Well, essentially what was driving the decision and why we feel strongly that this is a great opportunity to get into the market is that in the US alone, there are over 2,000 healthcare workers that are stabbing themselves with a dirty needle every day. These are reported incidents. So those incidents cost about $3,000 per incident to treat, and you have to factor in that the people that have stabbed themselves with a soil needle cannot go to work for the next 2 or 3 weeks until they are cleared. So that's obviously billions of dollars right there, and it's causing a lot of pressure in the insurance companies and in the healthcare network in general. And the World Health Organization still considers needles to be the #1 cross-contamination issue. Needles are toxic waste. You see them everywhere in bathrooms. You see the little containers. You see them in hospitals, airports. So there's a cost to managing the dirty needle. It's very expensive. So anywhere from $50,000 to $150,000 per month for a hospital. So we're eliminating that because our needle-free device have no possibilities of cross-contamination, and there's no more needle. And another stat that's really interesting that I didn't know existed, there's actually 17% of the population that are totally needle phobia. They will avoid going to the dentist or a doctor because they just can't handle the thought of a needle going into them. So the rest of us, the other 83%, I don't think we're looking forward to it either. So if we were given the choice, do you want to get an injection with a needle or do you want it with a needle-free device? I think everybody would probably say, I'll take the needle-free device, thank you. And another really important segment that caught our attention is the diabetes market. And there's over 400 million diabetics right now, globally. There's over 90 million in China, 60 million in India. Per capita, there's more in the Middle East than there are in North America. And the growth rate of diabetes is more important in Asia than it is here as well. But there are somewhere between 30 and 50 million right now in the US, and there's actually 85 million people that are pre-diabetic state. So we're just obviously going to focus on pediatrics and newly diagnosed patients. It's a global market, obviously, but there are much more segments that are available to us. So local anesthesia, dental, fertility, cosmetics market, vaccines. There are multiple segments that our device can help solve a lot of the issues. So just to give you some of examples of different drugs right now and the size of those markets. I mean, Humira is the #1 selling drug in the world right now. And that's $18 billion in sales. It's an injectable. So just to speak about that drug specifically, we've signed an agreement with a company called Namaste Technologies. It's publicly listed. TSXV now, they used to be on the CSE, and they're also on the OTC markets. And so what we're going to do is develop a CBD injectable drug with our device. It's going to be our own secret sauce, our own cocktail, if you want, and our secret recipe, because CBD has pretty much the same claims, the same properties as Humira. It's an anti-inflammatory, and it's great to treat chronic pain. So it'll be available in our pre-fill syringe as an injectable. Oh, so Martin, I'll let you maybe touch on this. We'll talk about the different devices that we have. We have, before you jump in, the one that's ready to go to market now is going to be available in about 4 months in the US. It's already FDA cleared, and we're the only company that can actually sell direct to the consumer in the diabetes space for insulin without the patient needing a prescription to get our device.
Thank you, Michael. So as Michael described, we have different technologies for doing needle-free injections. One of them is FDA cleared, and we are, as Michael mentioned, the only needle-free company in the world that's FDA cleared for direct sell to the diabetic patient. That is certainly a really great opportunity for us, not including that we are also enjoying a reimbursement code for it. We have distributors in the United States that are actually willing to take 5 times more than what our first year's annual production will consist. And this is a device that is also good for any sort, not only for insulin, but any sort of liquid form injectable, as long as the viscosity is right, and that would be pretty much 80% of all the injectable for a subcutaneous purpose, exclusively subcutaneous, not intramuscular or intravenous, obviously. And in this case, this one is ready to market, and as Michael mentioned, is going to be on the market in about 4 months from now. We also have another technology for which we possess all IP, that is a nanoparticle powder injector. We actually possess IP on as much the process of turning a drug, a medication, a vaccine, into a nanoparticle powder drug. And this also added to this, we have IP on the actual drug delivery mechanism itself. The first device that I presented to you is a reusable. This one is a single-dose, fully disposable device that comes preloaded with the medication, thus enabling patients to inject themselves. And what's so fabulous about the nanoparticle powder is that once a drug is converted into a powder, it becomes thermostable, thus eliminating the need for cold chain compliancy, so basically not requiring refrigeration. In our case, we had a researcher that we work with that actually turned a standard flu vaccine that needs to be kept at a 4 degrees Celsius temperature. They converted it into a nanoparticle powder following Inolife's proprietary process, and the vaccine was kept at a temperature of 40 degrees Celsius for a full year, 365 days. After that year, we conducted studies on in vivo specimens, and it demonstrated that the vaccine actually had the exact same immune response as on the first day, meaning that we actually, found a way of keeping countries like the relationship we're developing with South Africa, working on different molecules like tuberculosis, HIV treatment, where they have over 2.5 million people that have to go every day, chronically throughout their lifetime at a healthcare center. So 2.5 people that have to receive an injection every day just because they do not have the ability to keep their medication in cold storage. We also have a connected injector, and what's so really nice about it is that it basically sends the information to care plans about the content of the syringe. So basically it identifies what molecule it contains, the dosage, the time at which it was injected, and basically becomes a part of keeping the patient compliant to their treatment, especially for preventing readmission after a surgery. We have a family of device with different molecule that we're developing our own portfolio, so thus becoming a pharma ourselves, and we can also do private white labeling and private labels with different either pharmas or drugstore chains. And here we have Michael's son who's going to express himself.
Now, we just wanted to show you, we're going to wrap up. We just wanted to show you the last video, just how it works. We were just injecting my son with saline water just to kind of show his reactions. So I was just done with my iPhone, so I'm sorry the quality is not great, but you see that he just clings his eyes, he's a little anxious, looks down, and he smiles, which is not the usual reaction of a child after being injected with a needle. So we'll leave you on that. Thank you very much, everybody.